In this episode of It Came From My Side of the Laundry Room, we're going to take a look at a comic that has a really mysterious origin, and we got a new segment. So, stick around. Hello, and welcome to It Came From My Side of the Laundry Room. I gotta be honest with you folks, I had something big planned for this, for being the Halloween night episode of It Came From My Side Laundry Room, but it fell through. To be honest, it was something so new for me that my confidence was shook, and it just took a lot longer than I anticipated. And I'm looking at the clock right now, and it's almost 3 a.m., and that wouldn't even include the editing time. So, we'll save that for another time. Maybe not even till next Halloween. Maybe just for something fun down the road. So, I have to be honest, I kind of scrambled real quick to put this together, so bear with me, forgive me, and enjoy, hopefully. Now, to start things off, I mentioned I have a comic with a very mysterious origin. At least, its origin to how I came about it.
What's in the box?
Not till you give me
What's in the
Long.
box?
That comic is DCs Mystery. It was I guess you would call this a magazine sized, and it's all beat to crap. But this was one of those covers that always enticed me. And I was happy to find this. And yes, find. It says it's a limited collector's edition, and it was published in 1973. We'll take a look at the comic itself, but first, the story. My family and I, my wife, my kids, we vacation down on the Outer Banks, on a very small place called Hatteras Village. It's at the very end of the Outer Banks, and we like to take walks. It's very quiet. It's a very soul-cleansing experience because there's no fast food, no big stores, no hustle bustle. So we were on one of these walks, and there was a house that was abandoned, and the new owners were selling everything that was left inside. Just for something fun to do, we walked in, and it wasn't anything that special. But on the outside of the home were steps that led to an attic space. And I said, you know what, I'm going to check that out just because I'm curious and I like spooky stuff. And an attic, even though it was the middle of a summer day, still looked dark and ominous. So I ascended the stairs and went in. It was very spacious for an attic. It went the incomplete distance of the house and was big enough to walk through, at least at the highest point of the roof. And I went in. It was a lot of things in disarray. Old luggage, old clothes all piled up, mildewy. And I walked the entire distance, looking at everything. And I turned and walked to leave, when I saw something laying on the floor that I honestly don't remember seeing when I entered the attic. And it was this comic. It was just laying there right in front, and like I said, I don't remember seeing it or stepping on it because it was directly in my path. I bent down, picked it up, and it was in a lot worse shape than it is now because it was all curled up and such, but I've been storing it between some heavy books. I walked down to where the new owners were with their small cash register and asked how much. They asked where I found it, and I told them. And they said, "Nah, you take that. You enjoy it." And I did. It's still kind of unnerving that I don't remember seeing it on my first journey through. But I'm very happy that I have it. Like I said, it's very beat up. But it has an interesting story, and it's something that will help me remember that trip to the beach that year. Now let's take a look inside. You have this great trick-or-treat artwork on the front, and you have a tabletop diorama that you can make on the back. Of course, in 1973, people were probably a little bit more apt to cut up a comic book, even one that said collector's edition on the front. But I assume these are reprints of old House of Mystery or other various horror comics that DC published in the 60s and 70s. Has great artwork. The pages are weathered and dog-eared, but beautiful artwork's beautiful artwork. Oh, a Neil Adams story. Neil Adams' beautiful artwork. Does it say who did the cover? I love that in old comics they would have numbers in place of signatures sometimes. Now the editor, Joe Orlando, gets top billing, but a lot of the artists and writers don't get their say. Here's a nice Sergio page. A board game. Huh. A Wally Wood and Gil Kane story. Alex Toth. Look at that. Devil's Doorway. That is beautiful artwork. Here's another one. I used to love when they would incorporate the text, like this nightmare, into the art itself. That seems like a style that's long gone, and one that DC really excelled at. But again, a great comic, interesting backstory to how I got it. But just cool all in all. Now that we took a look at the comic, take a look at this commercial.
Scared Silly, starring Ronald McDonald and the Chicken McNuggets.
Ronald, nice to see you in this neck of the woods. Come on.
What are you making? We're stirring up secret sauces.
For dipping.
We're ready, boss.
Let's make sauce.
Oh, well, at least I got my hair done.
I have an idea.
Whoop-de-doo, McDonald's sausage.
You can always count on them to be terrific.
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
And we're back. Now, a new segment. Nowadays, tabletop gaming, and I don't mean pen and paper role-playing games, but I actually mean board games, are now a boutique and hip thing. But at one time, games like this were very rare. And it's the game Zombies. Released in 2002, Zombies was a great board game. It was great for nights when we didn't feel like pulling out all of our gaming books and all of our bags of dice and just wanted to chill out and do something different. But Zombies. It's been so many years since I've actually played that I forget how to play it. Now, the object of the game of Zombies is to be the first player to reach the center square of the helipad tile. Kill any zombies there and escape the advancing zombie horde. Also, a player wins if he's the first to collect 25 zombies. And what that means is that you kill 25 of them. And I have a big bag of zombies. They released two different kinds. They had glow-in-the-dark ones. And they had the normal ones that came with the game. Let's take a look at how you play real quick. And if any of you out there have played it or still play it, tell me about it in the comments. Let's see, during a turn, draw a tile, which I have all the tiles in one of the expansions I picked up, Zombies 3, Mall Walkers. Big fan of Dawn of the Dead, so I had to get the mall one. So you begin by drawing a tile. Cooperate instructions. Draw a tile from the map deck and place it on the table. So you had, this is the actual mall one, which you could use with the original game. But here's the helipad. That's the goal to reach. But in the original game, they were streets. With storefronts. Different zombie carnage. And you would create the board as you went. Made it a very random and fun experience because the board would be different every time. So during your turn, you draw the tile, place it on the table. You have combat with any zombies on your current space. Draw 3 event cards. So let's draw 3 of them and just see what they would be. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, lucky shot. Play this card while in combat. Discard 1 bullet token to automatically kill the zombie you are currently fighting. I know what you did. Play this card if every other player has more zombies than you to move yourself from your current tile to any legal space on an adjacent tile. So you're running from your crew, which is always a character in a zombie movie. This one is, there you are! Place your pawn on the same square as the nearest opponent's pawn. Your choice if more than one opponent is the same distance away. So you're meeting back up with your crew, if you will. Let's look at 3 more just because this is fun. Clean up in aisle 5. Play this card when you are in a building or store. Remove all zombies from the building or store, starting with yourself and proceeding clockwise. Distribute the zombies one at a time to all players. These zombies are added to each player's collection. Lots of luck with that. Play this card when you are on the same square as another player. Your movement ends and you may take 1 bullet and 1 random card from that player. Again, that's a typical thing you see in zombie movies of screwing over your party. Don't go to sleep. This card must be played at the beginning of an opponent's turn. That player must immediately roll a 1 or 6 to continue. The turn is normal. If any other number is rolled, that player loses the rest of his turn and a zombie is placed on his current spot. Yikes. Now these are the figures it came with, your playing pieces. And they came with 6-sided die, which we all had to bring a collection of other dice in to make it unique. And I just wasn't happy with the figures it gave us. So I found a pack of miniatures at the gaming store. Called the B team. That was the A team, if you will. And I painted these. Here's Murdoch. Hannibal. I guess this is supposed to be Amy or whatever that girl's name was. But I painted her the way I wanted to. And of course, BA. Of course, that's probably all blurry. But I hope you can see it. It's pretty cool. I just did a basic paint job on them. No dry brushing or anything. And of course, there's one of the laundry room cats making an appearance. And we also put a hero click of Logan in the mix. But these are the bullet tokens that they talked about. And here's your health. You had little heart tokens. But we looked at the city streets, and real quick, let's look at some of the mall spaces. Of course, you started with the entrance to the mall. And when we played, you had your choice of you could either start building up the mall or work on the city streets. Both would lead to a helipad eventually. But like here, you have your little court with a fountain. Here's a pet store. But it was a great game. I loved playing it. I would love to play it again. Maybe when the kids are a little bit older. We could bring it out on family fun night. But anyway, like I said, this was just a bare bones last minute episode because what I had planned for you guys fell through and I feel horrible about it. But I had to preserve my own sanity because I do need a little bit of sleep every once in a while. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it tonight. And we're running out of time because Halloween is just a couple days away. So, thank you. Sorry again. But until next time, keep being rad, stay dorky. Peace out. Thank you for watching this episode presented by My Side of the Laundry Room. Please check out some of these other recommended videos, and if you enjoyed what you've watched, please hit the subscribe button. You can also follow on Twitter, like on Facebook, and read up on My Side of the Laundry Room at our blog. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep being rad and stay dorky.